How many listeners do you have on this, or viewers?
Depending on, sometimes people come, sometimes they, but have you talked to your friends? We need to invite them for them to see.
Yeah, I invited some. I sent them the link to join the podcast.
Okay, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Conte. Thank you, Dr. Yaffa, for being here. This is thank you, audience, for being here again. If you're watching or if you're going to be watching later on, this is a special program. We don't usually meet here on Fridays, be a weekday. We normally meet on Sundays, but because of scheduling issues, Dr. Yaffa is busy also in the Gambia, so we had to.
Professor Yaffa.
Professor Yaffa is quite busy in the Gambia too, so we had to work around his schedule to be able to have him on board today. And I'm going to be switching back and forth on this, and I'm glad Professor Yaffa is correcting me. I'm used to call him Dr. Yaffa, but he's a professor at the UTG, professor of agronomy, and you're the dean of the school too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's correct.
Exactly. And just to be brief here, we're going to contract this period. Normally we have 1 hour session, sometimes a little over that. We're going to try to cover this under 30 minutes because Professor Yaffa doesn't have a lot of time today. So our topic today is agribusiness in the Gambia. We're going to look at the promises and the challenges of agribusiness in the Gambia. I understand that agribusiness is projected to be $1 trillion industry in Africa. So there's a lot of potential for agribusiness, not only for the Gambia, but also the whole of the African continent as well. And we're going to look at the challenges and the promises of this industry. But particularly, we will focus a little bit on Dr. Yaffa's experience. He owns a farm in the Gambia as well. So he will tell us a little bit more from his perspective of his farming experience in the Gambia, the challenges and the promises of that industry. Some of the key areas, potential areas that can really transform Africa, not only African agriculture, but African economies, particularly Gambian economy, in agribusiness, areas of processing, areas of transportation, areas of storage, marketing, e-marketing particularly, are very good areas that people can invest in. And if you are watching us and you are interested in investing in agriculture, agribusiness, we would be happy to provide you information about not only where to contact, but also we can give you some ideas of what areas to explore and what help you can seek in the Gambia to get yourself established as a potential agribusiness owner in the country. Dr. Yaffa, like I said, Dr. Yaffa is our guest today. He is a Professor Yaffa is our guest today. He's a professor at the UTG, University of the Gambia. He's a professor of agronomy. He's also the dean of the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, I understand, if I'm correct here. But Dr. Yaffa will tell us about himself, but particularly I want him to tell us a little bit about his his farming activity in the Gambia. Dr. Yaffa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kebajata and Dr. Laman J. Conte, for having me on your show. Yes, my name is Professor Sidat Yaffa. I'm a professor of agronomy, University of Gambia, and also the Dean School of Agriculture and Environmental Science and Director of Waskal doctoral research program on climate change and education at the University of the Gambia. I was born and raised in a village called Misira in Sandu district, Upper River region of the Gambia. I came from a farming background. My parents were peasants, what we call peasants as farmers. In Gambia, we call it farmers. That's what they did all their lives until they passed on. I learned from them this farming practice, but they were crop farmers. I deviated a little bit. I got interested in livestock, although my area of specialization academically is crop agronomy, scientific study of soils and row crops. But I just have some affinity for livestock production, and I think it has great potential in the country. And I started my own ranch called Sare Yaffa Ranch. You can check it online. SareYaffaRanch.com. One word, sareyafaranch.com. It's available online. And we started in 2018 and we are growing. It has a lot of prospects. And yes, we were happy the first year that we started selling our livestock en masse, meaning a large number during the past Tabaski. So that was a positive sign. And we intend to maybe triple what we have sold this year. By 2023, Tabaski, particularly Tabaski, we intend to triple our sales. But our sales are 12 months of the year. Anytime anybody who wants anything, you can send. For example, recently, less than 1 month ago, the current permanent secretary, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Dr. Yusuf Ture, ordered goats for breeding purposes, female goats. And we, Sare Yaffa Ranch, supplied him 12 female goats to his ranch in Kombostanya. So that's a positive sign. And there are some other people who are interested in buying, for example, cattle, because we raise mainly cattle and sheep and goats. Those are the ones we raise for commercial purposes, for business purposes. Although we raise a few chickens and ducks, that's for our personal consumption. We don't commercialize that one. So there's great potential, like I said before, in this sector, but it has some challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the timely availability of veterinary services. For example, if your livestock are sick, we don't have many qualified livestock assistants, the general cadre of veterinary service in this country. We don't have many of them, and in the few that we have, the ratio of a livestock assistant to a livestock producer could be around 1:1,000. That cannot be managed by them. I understand the predicament. Sometimes when we have a challenge with our health challenge with our livestock, we call the livestock attendant in the or assistant. We call it livestock assistant in the district, Sandu district, Upper River region, the Gambia. Sometimes it takes time before he comes, 1, 2, 3 days before he comes. That's our sick animals don't have the luxury of time to wait for him. Sometimes we just leave things to nature because we are not veterinary people, veterinary scientists, so we cannot diagnose, we cannot treat them. We have to rely on this. And secondly, even if we advertise to have a full employed staff on the ranch, we still don't have one because there is limited availability of the qualified staff. Another challenge is on the general human resource availability. For example, the government will say we provide jobs for youth, but my experience is Gambian youth, for now, they do not understand the value of hard work. They do not understand the value of timeliness on the job. They do not understand the value of respecting time, respecting job. Because my turnover is high because I hire and fire some of these young guys. I give them opportunity. One major challenge that I have is many of them, if not most of them, don't want to go to where the ranch is in Upper River region because they quote unquote acclimatized to the greater Banjul area, even doing anything productive. It gives them this opportunity to go over there to work, to learn, and to earn a little bit of income, way income, than what they are used to earning in the greater Banjul area. So that's a challenge. That's a very big challenge that we have. And the final challenge is, which is very rare, of course, sometimes it does, is cattle theft. Cattle theft is a major concern for we, the cattle producers in Upper River region. Even currently, I am a member of a cattle producers association. We call it the Bayam Malayan de Kafo, of Wuli and Sandu Bayam Malayan de Kafo. This is an organization comprised of membership from Wuli West District and Sandu District, respectively, combined. So we have formed this, and I am a fully fledged member, and we are working on a 5-year. I'm helping them develop a 5-year strategic plan on livestock production, on how we can make it better, how all of us, our lives and livelihood, we and our families and us, how we can improve our lives and livelihood in terms of nutrition, in terms of availability of nutritious food, especially meat, that we can consume with our families, and also in the process sell a lot of this livestock to make money. And what I've started doing with them is if I have a request for livestock, if I have a request for livestock, sorry, I have this phone coming in. If I don't have that on my ranch immediately and the customers want it, I have to satisfy customers' needs, I'll just call this membership. We have a WhatsApp group. I posted there both audio and text messages that this is what I want right away. This is the day I can go and pick it up and satisfy my customers. And Sare Ranch, one best thing that we are good at, we are proud of, we are the only livestock producer that provides that excellent service, meaning delivery, free delivery anywhere in the country. We can deliver to you within 72 hours if you buy from us directly from the ranch. So that has kind of motivated a lot of our customers and potential customers and our referral to many people who are interested in buying from us. And we post our livestock that we're marketing. We post it on our WhatsApp page, and we post it on our website. We post it on our Facebook page. So all these social media outlets are very helpful to us. So I guess I will break here until you have further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yaffa. You have touched on several issues. Yeah, I'm very familiar with your side. I actually worked with you briefly around Tabaski when I was interested in buying two, rams from you. That sale, unfortunately, did not go through because the people I was buying for opted out and went to a different direction. But hopefully in future we'll be working together more. Not only for myself, but also to get you some more. You talked about transportation, the distribution being a challenge, but also young people not quite willing to work. And this is true. I have another friend who has a farm in the Gambia, mostly rice production. And he was trying to get into small ruminants too, but one of his biggest challenge also is to hire dedicated young people to work on these farms. So many of them are quite not willing. They, like you put it, they don't have the value of hard work. They don't seem to have a sense of belief in hard work and self-reliance. But Dr. Yaffa, and I'll let Dr. Conte come in here shortly. I did listen to the president's speech at the National Assembly yesterday. I didn't hear, he did talk about poultry farming, but I didn't hear him specifically talk about livestock products in the country. Maybe I missed it, but I don't seem to have heard that section when he was talking about agriculture. And I think one of the biggest challenges for you guys too is also the ability to transition from selling live animals, but also probably Gambia, there is a potential for Gambia to develop a very robust meat industry. where you guys can wholesale your livestock to meat producers, and who can directly fill the grocery stores and supermarkets where Gambian people can easily access, and meat can become widely accessible and actually cheaper in the country in that respect. But this has to go beyond an individual. I think government needs to step in to encourage this transition into that kind of a thing. And you also mentioned lack of qualified veterinarians in the country. So there are a lot of difficult areas there. Dr. Conte, let me stop here for now. Dr. Conte, do you have anything to add on to what Dr.
No, with your permission, before Dr. Conte comes in, with your permission, let me briefly address this meat processing that you talk about. It's very essential. It's part of Sare Yaffa plan by 2024. We want to start on a small scale to have a slaughterhouse where we can process meat and sell it at the local level under a hygienic condition. That is our plan.
That would be wonderful.
And we are optimistic that we will start it in 2024. And there's one promising Gambian meat processor. His name is Lasana Tambaja. He has many stores in New York City, as I learned. And he came back to the Gambia. He wanted to establish a slaughter and meat processing house in the Gambia. And I learned that because I spoke to him about a little over a year ago, that he was allocated land by the Gambia government at Abuko. And he's in the process of starting to build the infrastructure there before he can start. His plan is good. That is to buy from the local producer like Sare Yaffa even before we start our slaughter business. He can buy from us. We have a contractual agreement. We can supply him the required number of whether it's cattle, or sheep, or goats that he can process at his place, at his facility. I think if that goes through, that'll be an excellent thing, because what generally happens, Dr. Conte knows it in the Gambia. The environment under which the meat is sold is very pathetic. It's unhygienic. You have flies over there. You have dust coming from all over the place. They don't cover them. So, but people buy them because they have a need for it, to enhance their diet. But there could be a better way. This is one of those better ways, like you said. You live in the United States, both of you, and I lived there 18 years. I know what you're talking about. So that's the kind of thing I want to emulate. Sare Yaffa Ranch wants to emulate in the Gambia by 2024. Thank you.
Wonderful. That would be great. And by touching on that, you just also indirectly touched on the need for refrigeration. To be able to do that, we need to be able to preserve food and cold storage and access to refrigeration. And of course, NAWEC will have to come in here. They have to be able to provide us reliable energy.
Not NAWEC. Not NAWEC. Forget about NAWEC. So that's an alternative, a reliable, sustainable alternative to energy. That is solar system. For example, Dr. Conte, I don't mean to take your time, but Keba keeps on injecting some of these indirect questions to me. That I feel the necessity to address them to your viewers, so they understand. Right. So, like I said, yes, NAWEC is the monopoly of energy supply and distribution in this country. But there are alternative sources far better than NAWEC, far better than conventional energy that we consume as a nation. We have the solar energy system. For example, currently at the University of the Gambia, my team and I, we have developed a project proposal, and we got funding from German Federal Ministry of Education and Research, BMBF, and for 4-year research on renewable energy, solar energy specifically. And we have identified 26 different sites in the country. 8 of those are villages, and 18 of them are government institutions, like the Gambia College Basse Annex, GTTI Masakonko, RDI Rural Development Institute, Masakonko, University of the Gambia, Farafeni Campus, Sir Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Carnington General Hospital, Bakota Fish Market, etc. In the villages, you have Koina, you have Badibu Kerewan, Lower Badibu District, Kerewan Village. Then you have Ngen Sanja in Upper Badibu District. Then you have Misra Village, Sandu District, etc., etc. So we will provide them renewable energy, solar energy particularly, to provide that source of livelihood, to enhance their livelihood, so that they do not depend on conventional energy from Norway. For example, Banjul International Airport is a top priority. We will supply them 24/7 electricity through solar energy. We know we have assessed their energy needs. For example, 2 megawatts. That's what they consume on a daily basis, and we will provide that for them at nearly no cost to them. Because what we have a sustainability plan. That is every month. For example, if their Nawak bill used to be $100 per month, as an example, so we will sign a contract with them, contractual agreement with the airport administration, that let them put aside $30 per month in a dedicated account, so that when there is a kind of a challenge breakdown or repair needs for that system, then they can tap into that account and buy the required equipment. And we have trained over 500 Gambian youth. A 9-month training at Stalin Technical Training Center. They're specialists on solar energy training for 9 months. 9 months classwork, 3 months field work, technical work. So those people will be readily available to go and fix those systems for example, the airport, and also the airport will pay a token to those people for their services. So this is the sustainability we have for energy. Well, we are working directly with NAWEC. I want your viewers to understand that we are working with NAWEC directly, because we don't want to. We want to support them. We are not working against them. We told the managing director, Tanani Juara, that we are working with them, and also we will be working with them in the future on this solar energy. It should be good for the whole country. We want it to be good for the whole country. NAWEC alone cannot supply the whole country with energy. It's going to be very impossible, because it requires a lot of money investment, and they don't have that investment. And these small projects that come from World Bank and other international organizations, they are not sufficient to take care of this energy. So that's why some of these big projects that we have, we are going to work with them. And if we have, we will do a socio-economic study on the impact of this project on these 26 sites in the country. Assuming that the final recommendation from the project, from the report, would be yes, we need to upscale it. The German government is ready to upscale it, to provide more funding, so that we cover more villages for the next time, so that villages throughout the country who need it most, then they'll be able to have access to energy.
Gotcha. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Yaffa. Just quickly, how about this issue of feeds, animal feed in the country? Last time I was working with a group of people to try to set up a livestock project for a particular place in the Gambia. And one issue that came up was feed availability in the country. And when I talked to some professionals in the country, they referred me to somebody at ITC. I still have his contact. ITC. Yeah, he is, I believe he was into or has some professional idea about livestock feed accessibility and stuff.
Is that Dr. Azteca? Maybe?
Huh?
His name is Dr. Azteca at ITC? Now we call it Wallet?
I have to look at him again. I talked to him. I have his number in my WhatsApp. I talked to him several times. But my understanding at the time was that locally produced animal feeds were quite unavailable. Most people depend on imported animal feed. Is that still the case?
For either small ruminants or large ruminants. Small ruminants like goats and sheep. For large ruminants, for cattle.
This particular project was a small.
It is available just because maybe the producers and it's cheaper. compared to the imported ones, because the imported ones are quite expensive. So what
That's
I
what I
do, what we do at the Sare Avalanche, from December up to, let's say, February, during the groundnut harvest season, this groundnut hay. So we buy as much as possible, we stock as much as possible. That takes us all the way to let's say by August the following year. And we have a lot of livestock. We have a lot of cattle and sheep and goats. In addition to the groundnut hay that we buy, for example, the 50-kilogram bag in my area in URR, in my village, Misira, currently I pay $100 for a 50-kilogram bag of groundnut hay. A year ago, I was paying $75 per kilo, but farmers have now said they want to increase the price. I say, yeah, you have the right to, because this is one of your sources of livelihood. So we buy that. In addition to the groundnut hay that we buy, there is a wheat flour processing plant on Bond Road in Banjul called Nessim, Nessim. So I started buying this what's called wheat bran, BRAN.
Yeah.
I started buying from them. They sell a ton for, it used to be a year ago, $10,000 a ton. So I buy that once every 3 months. But now the ton has gone up to $12,000 per ton. The price. So I buy that. So that is what I use as supplemental feed. First, we have a semi-intensive production system. That is, we leave them to go and graze on their own during the dry season. During the rainy season, we have a herdsman who follows them from 10 in the morning all the way to 2 p.m. They come back, we give them water, then we give them this supplemental wheat bran as feed. Sometimes we mix it with salt. So that is what we do. So, but many of these producers that I know, for example, those who have imported these European breeds, they are very expensive to feed them. For example, Holstein or New Jersey breed, those are quite expensive. They are very big. They consume a lot of feed. So it's always a challenge. Those are the ones who mainly buy this corn, or semi-processed corn seed, and feed it to them. Sometimes they. For us, we are interested in, we produce only this Ndama breed, our local breed. That is what we produce, and we market. Yeah, Ndama breed. It's more tolerant to the, especially Satsuprai infestation in the country. Yeah.
Trypanosomiasis, yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Wow, wonderful. Thank you very much, Dr. Yaffa, Professor Yaffa, for that explanation. Dr. Conte.
Okay, first I want to ask Professor Yaffa, how far is your hometown away from, say, UTG?
It's about 200. I would say, about 225 miles east of Banjul.
So logistics is going to be a problem when you have a product and you're trying to transport. And I'm a native Kambanka, and I've always been very concerned about the use of arable land for residential places. The UTG campus is just less than a 5 minutes walk from my farm. So I challenge you to visit that place. And if you can supplement, even you're going to do animal husbandry, as long as we have contract. Because what I'm seeing here is that we in Combo cannot afford to have our land totally replaced by residences and no farming opportunities in our area. So if you are willing to go and visit that place, I'll be more than happy to engage you. Because we all grew up on farms, and regardless of what education that we have to entertain farming. I'm also very concerned about the Nawetan activities because what's happening now, you remember when I was going to school, let me give you an instance. Of course, kids would always go play soccer. And my father was upset at me for going to play with soccer. And I told him, may his soul rest in peace, I told him that can you allow three of us to come and work on the farm? And he said, for what? I said, we will clear everything that you normally would do in a week or even two. And he couldn't believe us. So when
Yeah.
we came in, kids knowing that they're going to play soccer by 2 o'clock, we cleared everything. And when he came, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So what we did was, they allowed us to play soccer. So going to one farm, spend no more than 4 hours there. And then the next day going to another place and do the same 4 hours. And then the third place, another 4 hours. But what is happening in the Gambia, it seems like we have lack of control. You talk about youth don't want to do any work. I think the government should visit what we have called a National Youth Service. Don't tell me it's a
Yeah.
scheme. These kids, when they get out of high school, because the University of the Gambia is overflooded with students. And so if we can have some of those students going there, I think it will be a treasure for us. Because Gambia's food security is a dilemma. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, go to Pirang. I'll give you direction. And then you will notice that when you go all the way to Pirang, at the very end, there is a road by Jabankunda. If you walk through that, you will not see. You will notice that the grasses have even grown on the road. So that tells you that the people were not going to farm. The same thing in
Right.
Faraba, anywhere else. So it used to be back in the day, people who were from the provinces during the summer, they would send their wives to go and work on farms. Well, nowadays that's not the case. But then challenge civil servants who were raised in the country, in the countryside, to even have a farm and even pay people to do that. But when we all sit down, can you believe somebody coming from the provinces to you to buy them a bag of rice? And I know that's happening. So what we tend to run and
Oh, yeah.
blame the government for everything, and prices are escalating because of the fact, that no one wants to do farming. And so these are things that I'm very concerned, in Combo and elsewhere in the Gambia, that we are not looking at agriculture, and look also at what the government allocates to agriculture, less than $300 million is. So even the $20 entrance security fee that visitors pay going in and going out $40 is about 240 million. That can even be in an earmark for farming. So whatever you all want to do to help in farming, I'm for it. And also the UTG campus, if you all get around there, we got to have some form of negotiation in terms of the land that you're going to have. Because remember, when in 1991, yeah, he said when he was Minister of Agriculture, when he was Minister of Local Government, he
Local
said
government.
all
Yeah.
land in Combo belongs to the government. And Lamin Kitty Jaban said not in Combo East. When they voted, the government, all land in Combo belongs to the government. No, not in Combo East. Not in Combo East. And I don't want to fight anyone. And that law has not changed. That law has not changed at all. So, but what I'm saying, is that if you all go there, I know you all are going there, and you all have this fence around, the university can also find a way to engage the local farmers, because if you have land that's gated and no one is doing anything, I don't see a reason why if you can have a contract with them to do farming. But I am all for farming, because I'm telling you, like where I live right now, I can look at my window, you see vast land of corn, soybeans, and so forth. I live in the Midwest. So anything that you all want to do, we shouldn't have any politics on this agriculture stuff. Because if you are hungry, it doesn't matter what political party you belong to. And I think it's high time the government
Right.
also.
Right.
I think it's high time. It's high time that the government does something about decentralization. not everything can be in the urban area. I think we need to shift attention to the rural areas, because in your village, by you having solar there, if you go inside your house, can you tell the difference between the temperature in your house and the temperature in the house that you have in Combo? Can you tell the difference?
No, that's the point. That's the point. I will address all those things. Okay, but I know
No,
I talked about 30 minutes, but I can keep on going up to
yeah,
7:30.
Well,
I'm
well,
all,
we'll,
I'm all
The
for,
conversation
I'm
is getting
all, I'm
interested.
all for, I'm all
yeah,
for what I'm
we'll
all
have
for.
to wrap it up because I have another appointment too.
But I just want to thank him.
Yeah.
I just want to thank him.
Yeah.
Getting a PhD in agriculture. This man is out there on the farm. How many PhDs do you know in the Department of Agriculture that are doing what he's doing? So we have to give him credit.
Who have their own farm.
If we have more of him,
yeah,
we wouldn't have hunger.
Right, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, someone who is doing this, the bank should actually loan you money.
I'm sure they will.
You know, that's the downside of it. That's the downside of Keba. The banks providing me loan, it's a no-go area. Even some of this, there's a new livestock project. I don't know why. Well, I forgot the name. They said they will give grant, I think up to $1 million. Well, you have to do X, Y, and Z. I told them, you know what? Forget it. I'm not interested in it. I will have my own money. I will save my own money. Fortunately enough, I don't go to the bank. I go to the Gambia Teachers Union Cooperative Credit Union and borrow money, no matter how small it is. I invested on the ranch. Like you said, Dr. Conte, that is very bad. How many Gambians? Very few. Although the mindset is changing now. I've seen some retired permanent secretaries who have ranches. They've started cattle production. For example, I can give you one name, Mr. Bob Carboy, former permanent secretary, MOPSI, Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. He has his own ranch. And then we have Dr. Iswatura, current permanent secretary, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science, and Technology. He has his own ranch. So they are running on a bit of time. But if we have many of those, I always tell people, I am self-sufficient. My family and I, the ones that I'm responsible, directly or indirectly, because I'm the head of the household in my village, we are all self-sufficient. We don't talk about food now. It's a thing of the past, 3 meals in a day. We don't struggle for that. Because of this ranch that I'm doing. I'm invested in, I make money, and I seldom buy rice from this imported rice. Because there's one great Gambian guy by the name of Musa Dabo. He's at Qatar. He has land, I think about 80 hectares. All he does is rice production. Even this year, 2022, I could not buy for him because the World Food Program of the Gambia has ordered 10 tons of rice from him, milled rice, and he has his own milling machine there on the rice field. So those are the great things. Those are where I buy my rice, and other growers, local growers, I buy it from them. So that's the beauty of it, and I love it and I enjoy it. See, the problem with generally my experience, but my perception is generally Gambians, especially with the educated, we are comfortable under our skin. We love to put on ties and sit down in an air-conditioned room 8 to 4 every day. That's not productive. You have to do extra to have multiple streams of income. That is what I learned in the United States of America. You don't rely on only one thing, one source of income. If you go sick, you are dead. If you have an accident, you are handicapped, you are dead. How are you going to do it? So that's why you have to get into all those kinds of enterprises. One enterprise that my one colleague and I, tomorrow we are going to visit the place. Somebody is selling, a local bread producer in Brikama is selling his bread business, baking bakery. So we are going to talk to him, and we are interested in buying it, so that we can supply the bread market, the need for bread, especially in Brikama where it is located. Those are the kinds of things that motivate me. So this is what I learned at university, agriculture, and this is what I want to practice, and this is what I will continue to practice until the day I die, irrespective of what position I have in this world.
Okay,
and Mr. Conte, please send me the contact person about your land. I could go out there next week and have a look at it. And I promise you, I will get something done on that farm very soon.
And also, if you can check one Musa, okay, Mr. Jada.
Yeah.
Ye fende for me along ko kacha abajamfala fona ntenasa kacha no phone for faroke. So if you need to skip Mr. Jata, I will continue on with the conversation because this is one thing.
Yeah.
This is one thing that we all have to come collectively. But Mr. Yaffa, after I want you to help me out with this a young man who said he challenged Gambians to grow what they eat. And he's
Really?
from Boostown, Sami, but named Musa.
Boostown, near Bantam.
Musa Sonko. Do you know him?
In Boostown. No, I don't know him, but I know Boostown.
Well,
That's
can
next
you
to
find some?
opposite.
Can you? His name is Musa Sonko.
Okay. Do you have his telephone number?
No, I don't. They had something. They had something on him. The Standard newspaper did a report on him. I think last week.
I would love to meet you.
And I was highly impressed. I was highly impressed.
Okay, I'll get him.
So if we can get something like that, that'll be very, very, very good. And in fact, for you to get to my farm is easy. You see where Dr. Sanyan's Kasu farm is, the little road by the UTG.
Yeah, send me the contact person's name.
Yeah.
Send me the contact person's name and telephone number.
Let's do this because we can't sit down. We cannot sit down and afford just to sit down and say okay, I have my $200 or $300 I can send to my family to feed them.
No, it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
It is not. No.
Because
you have your own family, you have your own business. Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing that Sare Yaffa Ranch has started, because now we have registered it, we call it a Sare Yaffa enterprise. Now we have started the Sare Yaffa seafood. So there's potential in Nyomin, Lower Nyomin. They produce a lot of, they go on fish in the ocean and come back and have a lot of catch. Sometimes to sell it, market it is a challenge. So that's where we have gone to now. We have bought a refrigerated truck, used one though, and I had 2 people who have started working it beginning of this month, September. So they start. We buy from the fishermen, then we will refrigerate them and take them in our trucks. We serve Lower Nyomi, Upper Nyomi, Jokadu, and Lower Badibu as a start. Then we'll come back. So maybe on or before end of this year, if that works out, then we will expand, go as far as Koina. And secondly, we have by end of October, I'm taking some experts on aquaculture on Sare Yaffa Ranch, on the ranch. We want to start a fish production, aquaculture. So we'll produce our own fish for the local market over there too. So those are the kinds of expansions we are embarking on right now, Sare Yaffa Ranch.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Dr. Yaffa. You guys are up to really something great. I just hope that we can scale these things up because there's a potential for. I'm really right. I know this is directly benefiting the local economy, but the Gambia government can take advantage of this and actually, expand the export capability. I know the Gambia used to export livestock to countries in the particularly back in the days, but there's a potential.
World Food. You said World Food Program importing tons of rice from the rice producer in Sierra.
They order 10 tons. Yeah.
And if you look at the price of rice in the Gambia is very high, and Gambia is a net importer of rice. Advantage to be taken of these things so that Gambia could be definitely rice self-sufficient.
Yeah, it's easy to do it. Honestly, it is easy to do it. We have the land, we have the water resources both above surface and below surface water sources. We have more water below surface.
Exports out of China and stuff like that.
Yeah, fresh water.
Right. But livestock has a lot. Yeah. livestock has a lot of potential, in the country, and I think government should take advantage of that and support you guys to expand and distribute across the country. To bring down the price of these commodities. It will have a big multiplying effect on the economy, of the country. But
Dr. Conte, can you believe? Sorry, Keba, Dr. Conte, can you believe that the Gambia government, in drafting the second national plan, even the first one, they never consulted the University of the Gambia, specifically the School of Agriculture and Environmental Science. Can you believe that?
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know why. In National Development Plan, top priority is food security. And who is in a better position to advise the government than UTG School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences? We have the requisite experts in the school now. Now we have more Gambian trained professors, senior lecturers, many people. We have about 12 Gambians, modified Gambians with PhDs in different areas of agriculture at the UTG School of Agriculture and Environmental Science. But it was very shocking. I was discussing with the Vice Chancellor. I was telling him about 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm so disappointed. I don't know why University of Gambia was not contacted by the Gambia government, was not invited in drafting this second national development plan. What they do, they gather a few group of people who are not experts in agriculture, seldom, I would never put it that way, who are seldom experts in agriculture, who have never practiced agriculture in their lives. Those are the people they bring forward and give them this contract to write. Even the first national development plan, what has agriculture gained from that? Almost zero, nothing. For 5 years, agriculture has not gone anywhere. We are stagnant, same pathetic condition, to be honest with you. And this is disheartening to me. And this is my country. We want to help the government, we want to work with the government, but the government is not engaging us. And as far as I'm concerned, we're not supposed to go, I'm not going to go to the government and say, no, you have to engage us. No, I will not do that. But when they engage us, we will provide the best solutions for them. We have the requisite knowledge, we have the requisite expertise to do that.
Well, like I said,
yeah, go ahead, Dr. Conte.
What I just don't understand, if you look at the budget of the country, what justification does anyone have for the Ministry of Finance to be allocated Ministry of Finance to be allocated
Finance, $1 billion.
Nearly $1 billion, but agriculture less than 300 million. 300
million. Yeah. You see the hypocrisy?
Yeah.
You see the pathetic situation? Even the African Union says 10%, minimum 10% of the national budget should be allocated to agriculture. We have never achieved more than 1%. This was 10 years ago. Since 10 years ago, this policy started. They don't give priority to agriculture. I have no idea why. Why no priority to agriculture? Anyway, Dr. Conte and Keba, I want to inform you, honestly, because of all these shortcomings from the government, I want to let you know, and your colleagues and your listeners, in 2026, if I am alive and well, I'm going to contest for the presidency of the Gambia as an independent candidate. Trust me on that one.
I'll be behind you, Dr. Yaffa. You can take that to the back.
Thank you.
I definitely want to see change in the Gambia. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We can do it. The Gambia can be a model for the whole of Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
we
very
can be a model for the whole of Africa. Just that people talk too much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gambia, what we are good at currently, what we are good at currently is just keep talking. Just talking. You seldom see anything practical. Yeah. We cannot let that happen because just like American philosophy, somebody got to do it, and I'm ready to do it. Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. I was going to just have a wrap up. You can give your final statement. We truly appreciate you coming on. Provide us with your information about your experience with regards to agribusiness, particularly livestock production in the country. I know the challenges are many, but the potentials are great. There's a lot of potential in that industry. Potential for employment of teeming young population. Potential for GDP growth. There's a lot that can be tapped from that industry. But thank you for illustrating on this point. Just a final word. Dr. Conte, if you don't have anything to add, I will just have Professor Yaffa give a final word to our audience, and I will wrap it up. You and I will meet again on Sunday. Dr. Conte and I will meet again Sunday. We will particularly look at the President's speech to the National Assembly on the State of the Nation. We will dissect the numbers and see where the country truly is at compared to what the President actually said. Dr. Yaffa, go ahead with your final words. I know you have a time constraint too.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. But I've explained to my kids; they have understood me. Thank you very much, Keba. Thank you very much, Dr. Lamin J. Conte. I'm so excited to be on your show, and you can call upon me at any time. And the Gambia is a potential place for agricultural production. The Gambia can feed itself in the next 24 to 36 months with serious dedication from the government, with serious funding. We have the money. It's just that, in my opinion, the government has not prioritized agriculture, period. And that has to change. Because if you look at organizations like United States Department of Commerce, their International Trade Administration, you can check on their website, they have identified the Gambia as a potential area for agriculture. They're even encouraging United States farmers to come and invest in the Gambia. In 2006, I went to RDO Food. You can check it online, RDOFFUTT.com. It's a big dairy producer. He supplies about 85% of French fries in the United States, in the whole of the United States. I went to the corporate company, I saw the owner with his family, made a presentation for potential in agriculture in the Gambia. But at that time, when President Jammeh was president of this country, they checked with the CIA office and the American embassy here. They were advised not to come to the Gambia because of security reasons. You see? And now you have I'm still in touch with them, but they still have not made up their mind. But if you find honestly speaking, if you find any American farmer who's interested in coming to the Gambia, let him or her come to the Gambia first. Meet with me and my team. We will take them around. We'll show them the opportunities before, hopefully, before we can have an agreement to start commercial agriculture on our own. And finally, Mr. Conte, Dr. Conte and Ms. Jata, if you look at the African Development Bank, they did what we call the Gambia Livestock Development Study in 2020. The objective was to identify and prepare 2 priority bankable projects in the livestock subsector. That's a great opportunity. African Development Bank, they have the money, they are ready to invest in agriculture. But the Gambia is not taking up that seriously, in my own opinion. I think now once again, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you guys live on your program. And like I said, you can always count on me. I'll be available. I'll make myself available. We will talk about agriculture because that is my life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yaffa. And those of you listening, Dr. Yaffa's farm website is available online. His phone numbers are available online. If you need to request any of his services, feel free to contact him by phone or by email. His website is Sare Yaffa Ranch. It's available online. So .com, SareYaffaRanch.com. So feel free to get in touch with him and see what he can do for you. I strongly recommend it. I've looked at his website many times. I entered into a deal with him around Tabaski, but I strongly recommend his services to you. Dr. Conte, final word.
Sorry, kindly send me the recorded version of this show, please, if you're ready.
I definitely will. Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Conte, any final word before we shut down for the day?
All I have to say to him, is that if we can at least get him once every other week, because if we're going to be talking about agriculture, it should not be a one-day.
Yeah, he's a busy guy, but I'll talk to him and see what we can do. Okay, that'll be great. We'll definitely appreciate that. Yeah.
And I am
all right.
And I am 100% behind the initiative that he's doing in terms of agriculture. Because the Gambia eventually, if we don't be careful, we're going to face food insecurity. So whatever endeavor you can do, please continue on, and also engage civil servants, particularly those who are from the provinces who were raised on farms. So think about even having a 25-meter by 25-meter farm, and hire someone at home to do something, because now transportation is not a problem. The roads are good. So if we can have more of you, we don't have to be importing rice. And actually, animal husbandry too can even help, because most of the meat that our people eat, do we even know that they were infected?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, thank you very much, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Doctor, go ahead and finish.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, I just want to tell him to keep up the work. Good work. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your advice and support. Thank you, Dr. Yaffa. Yeah, thank you, Professor Yaffa. Thank you, Dr. Conte. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Dr. Conte, we meet on Saturday.
Okay, so bye-bye.
Bye-bye.